So in this video here, I'm starting off with a lot of information already written down, just because I think it's kind of pointless for me to sit here and have you watch me write down a ton of information. So what I want you guys to do now is pause the video and copy all this stuff down into your notebook. Okay, and skip some lines here. You can skip 3 lines at least there and 3 lines at least here. We're going to fill these in as we talk about this question. But go ahead and copy down this question in your notebook and then we can get started. So pause the video and then come back when you're ready. So now that you have this stuff written down in your notebook, we're going to go over how to calculate exponential functions in the calculator. So to enter data, we're going to follow the same steps we did in univariate and bivariate. Okay, so this should seem very familiar. Stat, edit, and we're going to plug into L1 and L2. So we go to our calculator, stat, edit, clear out anything that's already in your calculator, and then you can go ahead and plug in. I should have done this too. So now we have our information in our calculator. So to calculate here, we are going to still press stat and calc just like we did in bivariate data. But in bivariate data, we use option 4, which was linear regressions. Here we are doing exponential regressions, so we need to choose the option that looks like exponential. Okay, and that's going to be option 0, and it says EXP REG. Enter. Enter, 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 all the way. And then you're going to see that it's going to come up with some information on our screen. And again, we have these R values. You may not have the R values if you reset your calculator before you started working. If you did not reset your calculator, or the person before you did not, you're going to have these R values. We do not use them in this section. We only want the A and the B. So part A of the question is going to say, what is the exponential regression equation? And so what we would do is in our calculator, you can see that it has A and B, and then it sets us up for what the equation is going to look like. So the equation says y equals A times B to that x power. That's what it's showing us in the calculator. So we're going to plug in here, and we want to make sure that when we plug this in, we put that B value in a parenthesis. Okay? If you want to put the A value in a parenthesis too, you can, but you need to at least have the B value in parentheses. So y equals 284 point, let's do 2 decimal places again, 67 times, in parentheses, 1.75, close parentheses, to the x power. So that's how we find our linear our exponential regression equation. After that, it's going to ask you to predict. So here we're going to predict the amount of rabbits, because that's what we're talking about. In year 13. So if we want to predict the amount of rabbits in year 13, we're going to take 13 and we're going to plug that in for x, because x is our time. So here it says y equals 284.67 times 1.75 to the 13th power. We type all that right into our calculator. And you can put the times here if you want, but just make sure that this is in parentheses. And you're going to have to use your caret button that's right above the little division symbol to get that exponent, 13, and hit enter. And we can round this to the next whole number, okay, because we can't have 0.8 of a rabbit. So 410,994.8 would round us to 410,995 and rabbits, because that's what we're talking about. Okay. So in this next question here, I just want us to draw a table. One, two, three, four, five. And then all I want to do is just write the exponential regression equation. Whoops, sorry. Exponential regression equation. So what you can do is you can pause the video at this time and try this on your own, or you can just stay with me and watch as we go along. Okay, I'm going to just go quickly through this. I'm clearing out my calculator right now and entering in the new data set that I have here. Remember, first row goes into L1, second row goes into L2. So this is exactly what I have here. Now that it's in my calculator, I'm going to press Stat, Calc, and I'm doing an exponential regression, so I want 0. Enter, 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 enter. And then I get this function. It's always y equals a times b to the x power, so don't get it confused with the linear one. Okay, 128 times, in parentheses, 0.5 to the x power.